The millionaire installed cameras just to keep an eye on the nanny. But every time his young son saw her, he stopped, stared, and slowly moved closer as if he recognized something no one else did. When the footage revealed what the boy was really doing, hands began to tremble, and the entire room fell into absolute silence. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment where in the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Say something, Leo. Anything, just one word. David Carson knelt on the floor of the playroom. His 5-year-old son sat perfectly still, lining up toy cars in a silent straight row. The only sound was the soft hum of the Seattle rain outside their Laurelhurst home. Leo did not look up. "The car is red," David said, pointing to a toy. His voice felt too loud in the big quiet house. "Can you say red?" Leo picked up a blue car. He placed it carefully next to the red one. His small face was serious. David's chest felt tight. It had been 4 months since Claire's accident. 4 months since Leo's voice disappeared. Doctors called it selective mutism. Trauma. They said to be patient, but patience was a resource David had run out of. He reached out to touch his son's shoulder. Leo flinched, a tiny movement. David pulled his hand back. "Okay," David said, standing up. His knees ached. "Okay." He walked to the large window. The backyard was green and empty. Claire had planted the flowers. Now they were growing wild. He did not know how to care for them. His phone buzzed in his pocket. A message from his assistant. Another meeting. His tech company needed him. The world of cloud security made sense. It had rules. Problems had solutions. This silence with his son had no solution he could find. He needed a system. A fix. He turned back to Leo. "I have to go to work for a few hours. A new friend is coming to stay with you. Her name is Maya. She is very nice." Leo's eyes flickered toward his father's voice, then back to his cars. He showed no other reaction. "She will help us," David said, more to himself than to his son. The doorbell rang at exactly 3 o'clock. David opened the door to a woman with a calm smile. She wore a soft blue sweater. Her brown eyes were warm. "Mr. Carson, I'm Maya." "David, please come in." She stepped inside, wiping her feet carefully. She looked around, not at the expensive art, but at the space. She saw the pair of small shoes by the door, the lonely toy on the stairs. "This is a beautiful home," she said. Her voice was gentle. "Thank you." David led her to the living room. "Leo is in the playroom. As my email said, he hasn't spoken since his mother passed. He understands everything. He just doesn't talk." Maya nodded. "I understand. May I meet him?" In the playroom, Leo did not turn when they entered. David felt a familiar pang of failure. "Leo," David said. "This is Maya." Maya did not walk straight to him. She sat on the floor a few feet away, folding her legs. She did not speak. She simply picked up a stray green car that had rolled away from Leo's line. She held it in her palm, waiting. Seconds passed. A full minute. Slowly, Leo's head turned. He looked at her, not at her eyes, but at her hands. Then his gaze traveled up to her face. He stared. It was an intense, deep look. Then he moved. He stood up and walked toward her, each step slow and deliberate. He stopped right in front of her. He kept staring. David held his breath. This was odd. This was not a shy hello. Maya smiled, a small, easy thing. She held out the green car. "This one belongs with the others, I think." Leo took the car. His fingers brushed hers. He turned and went back to his spot. He placed the green car at the end of the line, making the sequence perfect. He did not look at her again, but his body was tilted toward where she sat. David let out a slow breath. He went to you." "He's observing," Maya said softly, still sitting on the floor. "That's okay. It's a good start." It felt like more than observation to David. It felt like a ritual. But he pushed the thought away. She was here. She was calm. Leo had approached her. This was data point 1, a positive sign. He showed Maya the kitchen, the emergency numbers, the schedule. "His dinner is prepared. Just heat it up. I will be back by 7 o'clock. "We will be just fine," Maya said. Her certainty was a blanket, smothering his nerves. At the front door, David hesitated. He looked back down the hall toward the playroom. He heard nothing. The house was so quiet. "Just call if anything seems wrong." "I will," she promised. David got into his car. The rain started again, tapping on the roof. As he drove toward the city, the tight feeling in his stomach did not go away. It grew. He thought of Leo's slow walk toward Maya, the deep stare. A rational part of his mind began to list options, ways to gather more data, to be sure. He needed to truly see what happened in the quiet house when he was gone. By the time he reached his office building, the plan was forming. He would order the equipment today, small cameras, discreet. He would install them this weekend. It was a logical step, a security measure for Leo's safety. He just needed to know. The small flat boxes arrived at David's office on Monday morning. He opened them with careful hands. Inside were 3 tiny cameras. They were black, no bigger than coins. He had also bought a small digital recorder to store the video. His assistant Ken looked over his shoulder. "New home security system?" "Something like that," David said, closing the boxes. "Just an upgrade." He felt a hot pinch of shame. This was not an upgrade, this was spying. But the quiet from his house over the weekend had been too deep. Maya was polite, Leo was calm, everything was perfect. That was the problem. It felt like watching a play where he didn't know the next act. That evening, after Maya left at 7 o'clock, David got to work. Leo was already asleep upstairs. He placed the first camera on a high bookshelf in the living room. It looked at the big sofa and the play area. He stuck the second one on the frame of a kitchen cabinet, pointing at the table. The third went on a shelf of toys in the playroom. He connected them all to the recorder hidden in the cabinet below the television. He stood in the center of each room, turning slowly. He could not see the cameras. Good. "Daddy?" David jumped. Leo stood in the doorway of the playroom in his dinosaur pajamas. His small face was soft with sleep. "Hey, buddy, what are you doing up?" Leo did not answer. He walked into the room. He did not look at his father. He looked slowly around the walls, at the ceiling, at the shelves. His eyes moved like 2 blue searchlights. They passed right over the spot where the camera was hidden. Then Leo's gaze landed on his father. He stared, just like he had stared at Maya. It was a long, quiet look. "Did you have a bad dream?" David asked, his voice feeling too loud again. Leo blinked. He walked over to the toy shelf. He reached up and took down a stuffed bear he had not played with in months. He hugged it tightly to his chest. Then, without a sound, he turned and walked out of the room and back up the stairs to bed. David stood alone. The house felt colder. His son had just done it again. That slow, deliberate walk, that deep stare. This time, the stare was for him. The next day, David went to his office. He closed his door and opened the app on his computer. The live feed from the 3 cameras appeared in 3 small boxes. The house was empty. Maya would arrive at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock exactly, the front door on the kitchen camera opened. Maya came in. She hung up her coat. She put her bag on a chair. She began to move quietly, washing a cup from the sink. A minute later, Leo came down the stairs. He went into the playroom. He sat on the floor with his cars. David leaned close to the screen. He watched the playroom camera. Maya finished in the kitchen. She walked toward the playroom. Her footsteps were silent on the rug. The moment her foot crossed into the room, Leo froze. His hand, holding a red car, stopped in midair. He did not turn his head at first. He just stopped, completely still. Then, slowly, his head turned. He looked directly at Maya. He stared at her face. His eyes were wide and unblinking. He put the car down. He stood up. Then he began to walk toward her. His steps were slow and even. He walked until he was right in front of her. He just stood there, looking up. On the video, Maya smiled. She knelt down so her face was level with his. "Good morning, Leo. Are you ready for some breakfast?" She did not seem scared. She did not seem surprised. She acted like this was normal. Leo did not nod, but he turned and walked with her toward the kitchen. David's heart was beating hard. He clicked to another day's recording. He fast-forwarded to the time Maya usually arrived. The same thing happened. Leo froze when she entered. He turned. He stared. He walked to her. He did it every single time. David's mouth was dry. This was not a game. This was a pattern. A strange, creepy pattern. He watched clip after clip. Lunchtime. Reading time. All he saw was a quiet, kind woman and a silent, staring boy. He was about to close the app when he decided to look at one more. It was from last Thursday afternoon. He saw Maya and Leo in the living room. Maya was reading a book on the sofa. Leo was on the floor, stacking blocks. Then, Maya looked out the big window at the rain. She reached up and twisted a lock of her brown hair around her finger. She held it for a second, then let it go. She went back to her book. David fast-forwarded. He stopped at the same time on Friday afternoon. Leo was alone in the living room, stacking blocks in the same spot. Maya walked in from the kitchen. Leo froze. He turned. He stared. He walked to her. The usual ritual. But after it was done, Maya sat on the sofa. Leo went back to his blocks. Then, a few minutes later, Leo stopped playing. He looked at the big window, just where Maya had looked. He lifted his small hand to his own blonde hair. He took a piece between his fingers and twisted it. Exactly the same way. He held it for a second, then let it go. He did not look at Maya while he did it, but he had done what she had done the day before. David felt a chill go down his back. He leaned closer to the screen, his worry now a solid, cold knot in his stomach. David did not sleep that night. He sat at his desk, the blue light of the computer screen washing over his face. He went back to the beginning. He watched every single minute of footage from the past 2 weeks. He saw normal things. He saw Maya making peanut butter sandwiches. He saw her reading a book about trains. He saw her helping Leo put on his socks. He saw quiet, gentle care. And he saw the other thing. He saw Leo's freeze, the turn, the stare, the slow walk. It happened every single day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. It was a rule. Then, he started to see the copies. He found the clip of the shoe. It was from the previous Tuesday morning. In the kitchen, Maya's sneaker had come untied. She had knelt down on the tile floor. Her fingers had moved in a specific way. Loop, swoop, pull. She had tied a perfect bow. Then she had stood up and gone to get the orange juice. David's fingers trembled as he fast-forwarded. He stopped on Wednesday morning. Leo was at the kitchen table, eating cereal. Maya walked in. The ritual happened. Freeze, turn, stare, walk. After it was done, Maya moved to the counter. Leo slid off his chair. He walked to the exact spot on the tile floor where Maya had knelt the day before. He knelt down. He was not wearing shoes with laces, only slip-on sneakers, but his small hands moved in the air. Loop, swoop, pull. He mimed tying a shoe. He did it perfectly. His eyes were locked on Maya's back the entire time. A cold sweat broke out on David's neck. He searched for more. He found another one. On Friday, Maya had been wiping the kitchen counter. She had hummed a little tune, just 3 notes, and then tapped the sponge twice on the edge of the sink. On Saturday, Leo was playing with clay at that same counter. Maya entered the room. Freeze, turn, stare, walk. After, she left to answer the door for a delivery. Leo stood up. He faced the sink. He hummed the same 3 notes, softly. Then he picked up a block of clay and tapped it twice on the counter's edge. Asterisk, tap, tap. David pushed his chair back from the desk. He felt like he could not get enough air. This was not learning. A child learns by trying. They might try to tie a shoe, but they would fumble. They might hum a song, but they would get the notes wrong. Leo was not trying. He was replaying. He was copying things he had seen Maya do asterisk yesterday, asterisk with perfect, scary precision. But only after she entered the room and he did his strange, silent greeting. Why only with her? And why was there always a day in between? The next morning, David's eyes were red. He waited for Ken, his assistant, to come into his office with the morning reports. "Ken," David said, his voice rough. "A question." "Sure, David." If a person sees an action, and then, exactly 1 day later, they repeat that action perfectly, but only after seeing the person who did the first action. What does that mean? Ken blinked. "Sounds like a kid copying their mom. My niece does that. She puts on my sister's lipstick exactly how she saw her do it." But what if the child doesn't copy anyone else? And what if they don't do it right away? They wait a full day, and they only do it after they stare at the person for a long time. Ken shrugged, smiling. "Kids are weird, man. They have their own little rituals. Maybe it's a game." David nodded slowly. "Yes, a game." But he knew it was not a game. Games are fun. Leo's face during the stare was not fun. It was serious. It was intense. It was like he was downloading information. That evening, David sat in his car outside the house for a long time. He watched the warm light in the windows. He thought about going inside. He thought about sitting with Leo and Maya and pretending everything was normal. Instead, he picked up his phone. He called his mother in Florida. "Hi, Mom. David, how's my grandson?" "He's quiet. The new nanny is here. Maya. Is she good with him?" David looked at the window. He saw a shadow move past. It was Maya carrying a laundry basket. "She's very good, very calm. He has a special way with her. He watches her." "That's good, honey. He needs a calm presence." "Yes." David closed his eyes. "Mom, did Claire ever talk to you about her work? The charity she gave money to?" "Oh, you know Claire. She loved helping people. She gave to animal shelters, to the food bank, to that children's art program. Why? No reason. Just thinking about her." After the call, David sat in the dark car. Claire had given to many causes, but she had also been secretive about some of her projects. She had called them special investments. David, busy with his own company, had never asked for details. Now, he wished he had. He looked at the house. The woman inside was making his silent son copy her actions from the day before. It was a fact, a terrifying, impossible fact. He needed to know who she was, not Maya the nanny, the real person. The file on David's computer was named Maya_employment.pdf. He opened it. He read her resume for the 10th time. Maya Powell. Previous job, caring for a family in Portland for 3 years. References, Sarah and Ben Miller. Phone numbers, email addresses. It all looked perfect. That was the problem. He picked up his office phone. He dialed the first number for the Millers. A woman answered. "Hello? Hello, is this Sarah Miller?" "Yes. Who is this?" "My name is David Carson. I'm calling about a reference for Maya Powell. She listed you as a previous employer." There was a pause on the line. "Maya Powell? I'm sorry, the name doesn't ring a bell." "She worked as a nanny for your family for 3 years, in Portland." The woman's voice was polite but firm. "Mr. Carson, we've never had a nanny. We have 2 dogs. We've never hired a Maya Powell." David's hand tightened on the phone. "I see. Thank you for your time." He hung up. He called the second number. A man answered. "Ben Miller speaking." David went through the same questions. "A nanny?" the man said, sounding confused. "No, sir. You have the wrong Ben Miller. I'm a single guy. I live in an apartment." David thanked him and put the phone down. The references were fake. They were not real people. He leaned back in his chair. His mind, trained for finding digital threats, started to work. He needed to find the real person. He opened a search engine on his computer. He typed in Maya Powell Portland nanny. Many results came up, but none were the woman in his house. He tried something else. He closed his eyes and pictured her face, her calm smile, the specific way she tucked her hair behind her ear. He typed in Evelyn. He did not know why. It was just a name that popped into his head. He typed Evelyn Reed. He added Portland and neuroscientist. A list of links appeared. One was from a small news website in Oregon. The headline read, "Controversial Portland lab shut down after ethics probe." David clicked it. The article was from 2 years ago. It talked about a private research group called the Oberon Project. It said they studied mirror neurons and empathic replication in children. It said their methods were unethical. The lab was closed. The staff were let go. Near the bottom of the article, a name was listed. A former junior researcher who had agreed to speak to the reporter. The name was Evelyn Reed. David clicked on the name. A small, grainy picture loaded. It was a group photo of lab staff. One woman was circled. She had her hair pulled back. She wore glasses. She was not smiling. It was Maya. David's breath caught. He stared at the picture. The eyes were the same. The shape of the face was the same. It was her. He read the article again, slowly. Words jumped out. Unethical experiments, trauma-induced replication, open channels. The article said the lab believed some children, after a deep shock, could start to perfectly copy the actions of people around them. The lab wanted to learn how to control this. His mouth went dry. He looked at a photo on his desk. It was Leo, smiling and holding a toy airplane. It was taken before Claire died. A terrible thought clicked into place. Leo had a deep shock. His mother's death. And now he was perfectly copying Maya's actions from the day before. Maya was not a nanny.
She was Evelyn Reed. She was a scientist from that lab. She was in his house with his son. David stood up so fast his chair rolled back and hit the wall. His heart hammered against his ribs. He thought of Leo's slow walk toward her, his intense stare. Was that part of the experiment? Was she doing this to him? He had to get her out of his house, right now. He grabbed his car keys, then he stopped. If he fired her, she would just leave. She would disappear. And he would have no answers. He would never know what she did to Leo, or why. He put the keys down. His hands were shaking. He needed to think. He needed a plan. He looked back at the computer screen. The article mentioned another name, the director of the Oberon project, a man named Dr. Arthur Finch. David wrote the name down. Then he wrote down Evelyn Reed. He wrote down mirror neurons. He wrote down open channel. He looked at the words on the paper. They were a puzzle, a scary puzzle about his son. He knew one thing for sure. Maya, or Evelyn, was lying. She was in his home under a fake name. She came from a place that did bad experiments on children who had trauma. Leo had trauma. David walked to the window of his office. The city of Seattle sparkled below. His world, which had felt so broken before, now felt like a trap. He had let a stranger into the center of it. He had given her his silent, hurting son. He had to know more. He had to know why she was really there. And he had to know what Claire, who loved charities and art programs, had to do with a place like the Oberon Project. David drove home from his office. His head was full of terrible pictures. Pictures of a lab, pictures of children being studied, pictures of Maya's face in that old photo. He walked into his quiet house. It was late. The lights were off. Maya's door at the end of the hall was closed. Leo was asleep. David did not go upstairs. He went to a room he had not entered in months, Claire's home office. He turned on the light. The room was clean and still. Her desk was neat. A small pot held dried flowers. It smelled like her perfume, just a little. He sat in her chair. He opened the top drawer. He saw normal things, pens, sticky notes, paper clips. He opened the bottom drawer. There were files for the house, files for taxes. Then he saw a thick, plain folder. It had no label. He pulled it out. Inside were bank statements. They were from Claire's personal account, not their shared one. David looked at the lines of numbers. He saw regular payments. Each payment was for $5,000. They went out every month for 2 years. They were sent to a company called OP Holdings. David wrote the name down. OP Holdings. He typed it into his phone. Search results appeared. One link showed business records for Oregon. OP Holdings was a shell company. Its papers listed one director, Dr. Arthur Finch. Finch, the name from the lab article. David's hands felt cold. Claire had been giving money to the Oberon project. A lot of money. He kept looking in the folder. Under the bank papers, he found a single sheet of notepaper. It was Claire's handwriting. The words were scribbled fast. Meeting with Finch today. Saw the observation room. It's not therapy, it's harvesting. They are making the trauma worse. They want to trigger the replication on purpose. This is wrong. Took the primary drive. They can't know. If they find out. The sentence stopped there. David stared at the word harvesting. He stared at trigger the trauma. He thought of Leo freezing, staring, copying. He looked back at the note. Took the primary drive. A computer drive. He started to search the office. He looked in every drawer. He felt along the backs of shelves. He lifted the rug. Nothing. Then he looked at the bookshelf. Claire loved old books. She had a big copy of Asterisk, the collected poems of Robert Frost Asterisk. She never read poetry. She had said it was a gift from her mother. David pulled the heavy book off the shelf. It was not a book. It was a box made to look like a book. The hollow inside held a single, small silver flash drive. David's breath caught. He took the drive to his own office. He plugged it into his computer. The drive had one folder. It was named OP_Core. Inside were hundreds of files, project proposals, emails, video logs. David opened one video. A man with gray hair and glasses sat at a desk. He looked into the camera. Director's log, October 12th. Subject 7 has begun targeted replication of researcher Reed's motor functions with a 24-hour delay. The empathic bridge is established. This confirms our hypothesis. Trauma is the key. Now we must discover how to direct the channel, how to choose what is replicated. David paused the video. Researcher Reed, Evelyn Reed, Maya. Subject 7 was some other child. not Leo. He opened an email. It was from Arthur Finch to Claire Carson. Claire, your continued investment is appreciated, but your suggestions are not. We are not running a charity. We are conducting science. The potential here is not for healing. It is for understanding absolute behavioral mimicry. Do not ask about the children again. The last file was a short document. It was a police report draft. It was not official. It was marked Confidential Insurance Adjuster. It described Claire's car accident. The report said the brake line was cut. It was a clean cut, made by a tool. The cut caused the fluid to leak out slowly. The brakes would fail at high speed. The report concluded, evidence suggests deliberate tampering, likely motive unknown. David sat in the dark room. The computer screen glowed. The pieces came together. Claire gave the lab money. She saw the truth. She stole their main hard drive. She tried to run. Someone from the lab cut her brakes. They killed her. Leo was in the car that night. He saw his mother become scared. He saw her try to stop the car. He saw the crash. He saw everything. Now, the lab had sent one of their own researchers. They sent her to watch Leo, to see if the trauma had turned him into one of their channels. David put his head in his hands. His wife was not killed by an accident. She was murdered. And the woman pretending to be a nanny was here because of it. He had to know what Maya would do next. He had to know if she was here to take his son. The house was dark and quiet. David waited in the living room. He sat on the sofa and did not move. He watched the clock on the wall. The big hand moved slowly. It was almost 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock exactly, he heard the front door open and close. He heard Maya's soft footsteps in the hallway. "Leo? David? I'm back from the store," she called out. David did not answer. Maya walked into the living room. She held a grocery bag. She saw him sitting in the dark. She stopped. "David? Is everything okay? Where's Leo?" "Leo is upstairs, asleep," David said. His voice was flat. "We need to talk." Maya put the grocery bag down on the floor. She looked at his face. She saw something there. Her own calm expression began to change. "What is it?" David stood up. He held the printed article from the computer. He held the photo of her from the lab. He walked toward her and held them out. "I know who you are, Evelyn." Maya's eyes went to the papers. She did not reach for them. Her face went pale. The kind, calm mask fell away completely. She looked tired and very, very sad. "How long have you known?" she asked, her voice quiet. "Long enough," David said. He was trying not to shout. "Your references are fake. You are not a nanny. You worked at the Oberon Project. You studied children who went through trauma. You came here to study my son." Maya nodded slowly. "Yes." The simple admission shocked him. He expected lies. He expected her to run. "Why?" The word burst out of him. "What did you do to him? Why does he copy you?" "I didn't do anything to him, David." She looked at him, her eyes begging him to believe her. His brain did it. The trauma of losing Claire. It created a pathway. His mind is trying to understand the world by connecting to another person, by becoming a mirror. He chose me. Chose you. He needs a calm anchor. I am calm. When he looks at me, his brain is downloading my movements, my habits. It is how he connects now. He is copying my past actions to build a bridge to the present. David shook his head. "You're from that lab. They hurt children. They made the trauma worse on purpose. Claire found out. She stole from them. And then she died." A tear slipped down Maya's cheek. She did not wipe it away. "I know. I read her note on the drive. I never knew about that. I was just a junior researcher. I left the project when I saw what it was becoming. I ran away." "Then why are you here?" David demanded. "Because Arthur Finch heard about Leo, about the accident. He wanted to know if a child who witnessed such a violent trauma could become an open channel. He sent me to observe, to confirm it." "So you could take him?" David's voice cracked. "No," Maya said, the word sharp in the quiet room. She lowered her voice. "No, that was the plan. But then I met him. I am not here to take him, David. I am here to protect him. Finch will take him if he can. He sees Leo as the perfect subject. But I see a little boy who is scared and trying to find his mother in a broken world." David stared at her. He wanted to hate her, but her pain looked real. "How do I believe you?" Maya wiped her cheek.
You have cameras in the house. You have seen me with him. Have you ever seen me hurt him? Have you ever seen me do anything but care for him? David thought of the videos, the gentle reading, the patient meals, the way she knelt to be at his level. He had never seen anything bad, only the strange, silent copying. He copies you, David said weakly. He is looking for safety. And there is something else, David. Something more important. Maya took a step closer. He is not just copying me. His brain recorded everything from that night, everything he saw. What do you mean? He saw the man who tampered with the car. He was there, in the garage with Claire. Leo saw his face. He saw his actions. His brain has it all stored. If we can help him, if we can guide him to replay that sequence, he can show us the killer. David did not move. He stood in the quiet living room, Maya's words hanging in the air. Asterisk. He can show us the killer. Show us how? David's voice was a whisper. The same way he shows me, Maya said. She walked to the sofa and sat down, as if her legs could not hold her. He copies actions. He will copy the actions he saw that man do. If we can make him feel safe enough, and if he sees the right person, he might replay it. David sat down heavily in a chair across from her. The right person? You mean the killer? Yes, his brain has the memory. It is a motor memory. It is a sequence of actions. Cutting a brake line is a specific thing. Holding a tool, twisting, pouring fluid. If Leo sees the man's face again, it might trigger the memory. He might act it out. But he never goes out. He only sees you and me. Finch will send someone, Maya said. Her hands were still in her lap. He knows I am here. He knows I have observed Leo. He will want an update, or he will want to take him. Either way, someone will come. We have to be ready. David put his head in his hands. It was too much. His son was a silent witness. The woman he hired to help was a former scientist from a secret lab. The lab killed his wife, and now they wanted to use his son's broken mind to find a murderer. Why should I trust you? He asked, looking up at her. You lied about everything. I did, Maya said. She did not look away, and I will spend the rest of my life sorry for that. But you can trust me with Leo. I love him. I want to protect him from Finch, and I want to help him find peace. To do that, we need to know who did this. We need to use what his mind can do. David thought of the videos. Leo twisting his hair. Leo tying an imaginary shoe. The precision was terrifying. If that precision could be turned toward the man who hurt Claire. What is the plan? He asked. Maya leaned forward. We act normal. We go about our days. You go to work. I care for Leo. But we watch for anyone new, anyone watching the house. If someone comes, we let Leo see them. We see if he reacts, if he starts to copy them. And if he does, then we know. And we call the police. We have evidence. We have Leo's behavior. And we have the report on the flash drive. David stood up and walked to the window. The street was empty. And what about Finch? He wants Leo. You said it. He does, but he is careful. He will not just break in. He will try to get to him through me or through someone else. We have to be smarter. We have to make Leo seem ordinary. We cannot let Finch think he is a successful subject. How do we do that? Maya thought for a moment. We go out, to a park, to a store. We let Leo be seen in public acting like any quiet little boy. We make it seem like nothing special is happening here. That will make Finch hesitate, and it might draw out the other man. The killer might be watching too. He might get nervous if he sees Leo out in the world. David turned to look at her. In the dim light, she did not look like a scientist or a spy. She looked like a very tired woman who was trying to fix a terrible mistake. We are not a team, David said. No, Maya agreed. We are two people who love the same little boy. That is enough for now. From upstairs, a small sound drifted down. A soft thump, then another. David and Maya looked at each other. They both moved toward the stairs. They found Leo standing in the hallway outside his room. He was not asleep. He was facing the window at the end of the hall. The streetlight outside cast a glow on his face. His hands were moving. His right hand was held out, fist closed, as if holding something. His left hand made a twisting motion near it. Then, his right hand tilted, fingers opening slowly, as if pouring something out. He did it once, then he did it again. Twist. Pour. He was not looking at them. He was looking at nothing.
His eyes were wide and blank, seeing a different night, a different garage. Maya made a small, pained sound. She took a step toward him. "Leo?" At the sound of her voice, Leo blinked. The blank look faded. His hands dropped to his sides. He turned his head and looked at her with his clear blue eyes. He stared. Then he walked to her, his slow, deliberate walk. He stopped in front of her and just looked up. David watched, his heart breaking. The picture was in his mind, and he was starting to show it. The next morning, the kitchen felt different. David moved around Maya, getting cereal for Leo. Maya made coffee. They did not speak, but their eyes met over Leo's head. A silent agreement passed between them. "We are going to the park today, Leo," Maya said, her voice carefully bright. "Green Lake Park. Would you like that?" Leo looked up from his bowl. He looked at Maya. He did the stare. Then he gave a single small nod. "Good," David said, trying to sound normal. "I will come too. I can work from my phone." An hour later, they were in David's car. Leo sat in his car seat in the back, looking out the window. Maya sat beside him. David kept checking the mirrors. "What are we looking for?" David asked, his voice low. "Anyone who is just standing," Maya said. "Anyone who is not with a child. Anyone who looks at us for too long. Finch uses contractors, men who look ordinary." They parked at the park. It was a cool, sunny day. Many families were there. Children shouted on the playground. The noise made Leo cover his ears for a moment, but he did not cry. They found an empty bench. David sat down. Maya took Leo to the swings. "Push me, please," a little girl next to Leo asked her father. Leo watched the girl. He watched the father push her. Then he looked at Maya. "Do you want to swing, Leo?" Maya asked. Leo stared at her. Then he walked to an empty swing and climbed on. He held the chains and looked forward. He began to move his legs, swinging himself gently. He had seen the other child do it. David watched from the bench. He held his phone but did not look at it. His eyes scanned the park. A man jogged by. A woman pushed a stroller. 2 teenagers threw a frisbee. It all looked normal. Maya knelt in the wood chips near Leo's swing. She said something to him. Leo looked at her and then away. David saw the pattern. Even here, Leo did the stare, a quick version of it. Freeze, turn, look, then release. David's phone buzzed. A text from Ken at work. David typed a quick reply. "In a meeting, we'll call later." When he looked up, he saw a man. The man sat on a bench on the other side of the playground. He wore a gray jacket. He was not reading. He was not on his phone. He was just sitting. And he was looking toward the swings. David's breath caught. He stood up slowly. He walked over to Maya. "Do not turn around," David said softly, pretending to fix Leo's collar. "The man on the far bench, gray jacket, is that one of them?" Maya smiled at Leo, then casually glanced over her shoulder. Her smile did not change, but her eyes went hard. "I do not know him, but he is watching. What do we do?" "We keep playing. We see if Leo sees him." They stayed for another 20 minutes. Leo got off the swing. He walked to the sandbox. He began to trace shapes in the sand with one finger. The man in the gray jacket stood up. He started to walk, not toward them, but along the path that curved around the sandbox. Leo was focused on his drawing. He did not look up. The man walked slowly. As he passed behind the sandbox, his shadow fell across Leo's drawing. Leo's finger stopped. He froze. David's heart hammered. He saw Leo's shoulders tense. Slowly, Leo turned his head. He looked at the man's back as he walked away. Leo's eyes were wide. His mouth opened slightly, but no sound came out. Then, Leo's right hand came up. His fingers curled into a fist as if gripping a tool. His other hand came over it, making a twisting motion. Once, twice. He was not looking at Maya or David. He was looking at the man in the gray jacket. The man stopped walking. He turned around. He had seen Leo's movements. The man's face was ordinary, but his eyes were not. They locked onto Leo with a cold, sharp interest. He took a step off the path, toward the sandbox. Maya moved instantly. She stepped between Leo and the man. "Leo, look! A big dog!" she said, her voice loud and clear. David was already moving, closing the distance, his body blocking the man's view. "Time to go, buddy. Let's get some lunch." The man in the gray jacket stopped. He watched them for a second longer.
Then he turned and walked quickly away, disappearing behind a line of trees. Leo's hands had dropped. He was shaking. He reached out and grabbed a fistful of Maya's sweater, holding on tightly. "We go, now," David said. They lifted Leo from the sandbox and hurried toward the car, not looking back. The car doors slammed shut. David started the engine. He looked in the rearview mirror. Leo was in his car seat, his face pale. Maya held his hand. "He recognized him," Maya said, her voice tight. "The twist of the wrist, the pore. It was the same as last night." "That was him? The man who killed Claire?" David's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. "Leo thinks so. His memory thinks so." David pulled out of the parking lot. He drove fast, then forced himself to slow down. "We need to call the police, now." "And tell them what?" Maya asked. "That a little boy who doesn't talk copied a man's gestures? They will not understand. We need more. We need the man to admit something." "How?" Maya was quiet for a moment. "We go back." David stared at her. "Are you crazy?" He saw Leo. He knows Leo might remember. He will be scared. He might try to talk to us, to threaten us. If he does, we can record him. We can get him to say something about Claire, about the car. David drove without speaking for a full minute. He thought about the man's cold eyes. He thought about Leo's shaking hands. "It is a big risk." "It is the only way to end this," Maya said. "If we just run, he will follow. Or Finch will find us. We have to face one of them. The killer is here now. Finch is still hiding." David made a decision. He turned the car around. "We call the police first. We tell them we are being followed by a dangerous man. We give them our location. We meet the man in the open, with police on the way." He handed Maya his phone. "Call 911. I will drive back to the park." Maya made the call. Her voice was calm. "Yes, we are at Green Lake Park with our son. A man is following us. We believe he is dangerous. He is in a gray jacket. We are going back to the park now to wait for officers. Please send someone." She gave David a nod. "They are coming." David parked the car in the same spot. The park was less crowded now. He saw the man immediately. He was standing near the trees where he had disappeared, talking on a cell phone. "Stay with Leo," David said. He got out of the car. He walked toward the man. The man saw David coming. He put his phone away. His face was blank. "Can I help you?" the man asked. "You were watching my son," David said. "It's a public park. I was watching the birds." The man smiled a thin, unfriendly smile. "Your kid is interesting. Makes strange movements with his hands." David felt a chill. "What do you want?" "I want to talk to the woman, the nanny. I have a message for her from an old friend." "You can give the message to me." The man's smile faded. "No, I don't think so. Tell her Finch says hello, and Finch says the subject belongs at the lab. She has one day to bring him in, or we will come and get him, and it will be messy." David's blood ran cold. This was not the killer. This was one of Finch's men. At that moment, Maya got out of the car. Leo was with her, holding her hand. She had heard. The man in the gray jacket saw Leo. His eyes narrowed. "There he is. Hello, little channel." Leo froze. He turned his head. He stared at the man. His breathing became fast and shallow. Then, Leo's hands came up. The same movements. The gripping fist. The twisting motion. The pouring gesture. He did it once. Perfectly. The man's face changed. He looked from Leo to Maya. Confusion. Then understanding. Then anger flashed in his eyes. He's not just copying her. He saw it. He saw the job. "What job?" David demanded, stepping closer. The man ignored David. He looked only at Maya. "You stupid woman. You were supposed to observe, not trigger a witness. Finch will peel you apart for this." He took a sudden step toward Leo. David moved to block him. The man shoved David hard. David stumbled back. Maya pulled Leo behind her. "Stay away from him." The man reached for her. Then a new voice cut through the air. "Police, step away from them, now!" Two police officers were running across the grass toward them. Their hands were on their belts. The man in the gray jacket hissed. He turned to run. "Stop!" an officer yelled. The man ran for the trees. One officer ran after him. The other officer came to David, Maya, and Leo. "Are you folks okay? Are you the ones who called?" David could only nod, his eyes on the trees where the man had disappeared. They had stopped him today. But Finch's message was clear. They had one day. "We cannot go home," Maya said. Her voice was quiet but firm. They stood beside the police car, giving their statement. Leo held onto her leg, his face hidden. The officer writing in his notebook looked up. "This man threatened you directly? Mentioned a lab?" "Yes," David said. "He said his name was Finch. He said they would come for my son in one day." "We'll put extra patrols on your street," the officer said. "But if you feel unsafe, you should go somewhere else for a while. A friend's house, a hotel." The other officer returned, shaking his head. He got away, slipped through the trees to the road, probably had a car waiting. David looked at Maya. He knew what she was thinking. Patrols would not stop Finch. He was too careful. He would find another way. "Thank you, officers," David said. "We will go to a hotel tonight." They drove in silence for a long time. Leo fell asleep in his car seat, exhausted. "We need more than a hotel," Maya said, watching the city lights pass. "Finch has resources. He can find hotel records. We need to disappear for a little while." "I have a place," David said. He thought of Claire. "It is a cabin near Leavenworth, in the mountains. Claire's father owned it. We never go there. It is not in my name. It is in a trust. It will be hard to find." "Does it have internet? A phone?" Maya asked. "No, it has power, water, basic things, nothing else." "Good," Maya said. "That is good." They drove to their house in Laurelhurst just to pack. They moved quickly, like thieves in their own home. David got clothes, his laptop, the silver flash drive. Maya packed Leo's favorite toys, his blanket, some food from the kitchen. David stood in the living room. He looked at the hidden camera on the bookshelf. He took it down. He took them all down. He put them in a bag. He did not want Finch's people to have any more eyes in his home. Within 1 hour, they were back in the car, driving east into the night. The cabin was small and dark, surrounded by tall pine trees. David turned on the lights. The air smelled like wood and old dust. Leo woke up as David carried him inside. He looked around the main room with wide, curious eyes. He had never been here before. Maya started opening windows to let fresh air in. She checked the small kitchen. She checked the locks on the doors. "It is safe here, Leo," she said. "We can be quiet here for a while." Leo walked to the old brick fireplace. He touched the cold stones with one hand. Then he turned. He looked at Maya. He did a slow walk to her and stopped, looking up. David watched from the doorway. Even here, the ritual continued. It was part of Leo now. "It is okay," Maya whispered, kneeling down. "You do not have to do that here. We are all just here, together." Leo blinked. He leaned forward and rested his forehead against her shoulder. A simple, tired gesture. Maya put her arms around him and held him. David felt a strange ache in his chest. It was not jealousy. It was relief. His son had found a safe harbor, even if it was in the most complicated person David had ever known. They ate soup from cans. They made up beds. The mountain night was very dark and very quiet. Later, David stood on the small porch. Maya came out and stood beside him. "He will not stop looking," she said. "I know," David replied. "We have the flash drive. We have the police report. We have Leo's testimony in his actions. It is not enough to stop Finch, but it is a start. We can use it." "We will," David said, "but not tonight." Inside, through the window, they saw Leo. He was sitting on the rug. He had taken his toy cars from the bag. He was lining them up in a precise, straight row. Red, blue, green, yellow. Order from the chaos. He finished his line. Then he looked up. He saw David and Maya on the porch. He did not stare this time. He just looked. Then he patted the rug on the space next to him. An invitation. David and Maya looked at each other. They went inside. They sat on the floor on either side of Leo. They did not speak. They just sat in the quiet, with the line of toy cars between them. For now, the danger was far away. For now, they were just 3 people in a quiet house in the woods. The future was uncertain. But in that moment, they were safe. They were together. And that was enough.